Hi, my name's Gabriella. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk a bit about drama school and what you actually need to take with you. It's the time of year, everyone's getting their offers and beginning to prepare already. And also, a couple of weeks ago, I was going back to my classes in person. We had to be online for all of the spring term. And I had a moment a couple of weeks ago where I was like, I have completely forgotten what I need to take with me to classes. And the whole first week I just was completely panicked that I was going to have forgotten something, and I completely overpacked, didn't need a lot of it. So I thought, now that I've remembered, it's all come back to me, that I would share, and hopefully this is helpful for people who are preparing for drama school, drama courses, any sort of acting, musical theatre classes really, and I hope this helps you. And this is also a reminder for myself so that when I have the summer break again and I have another break, I don't forget for next term what I need. So, multi-purpose. I guess the first thing to talk about is what you actually wear. I think I'm in quite a unique position that isn't the same as most drama schools in that I can wear what I want. I don't have to stick to a uniform. I just have to wear appropriate clothes for what I'm doing. So, not a good idea to turn up for dance classes in tight mini skirts, etc. I mean, not really good to turn up to any classes in tight mini skirts, but you know what I mean. I know that most drama schools will have a uniform, usually all black, and you probably need leotards and things for dance. I don't have to do that, so I usually just wear dance clothes because we have dance or some form of movement every single day. So I tend to just wear what I'm going to wear for dance for the rest of the day, because the other classes it's good to be wearing things that you can move around easily in. So I just stay in my dance things, but a lot of people in my class, they take changes of clothes and they'll wear something comfortable that they can move around in for most of the day and change into their dance things for dance. I tend to just wear sort of sports leggings and some form of t-shirts with comfy shoes, like Converse is what I've been wearing recently, some pair of trainers really. And I'll take a warm jumper and usually wear a jacket. I mean, hopefully the layers will start going down now that it's getting warmer, but that's what I tend to have with me. Occasionally we'll have master classes or mock auditions or things where we'll need to wear smarter clothes, possibly leotards in dance, just nice clothes for our performance class, but we're given a heads up. So I'm never going to turn up just in my dance things one day and then surprise, you've got to actually be wearing nice stuff and I don't have anything nice with me. They'll give you guidelines on what to wear for that specific occasion. So I assume that most places with a dress code will provide that dress code and then you'll know exactly what to wear. For me, sort of good, I can wear what I want, but also we didn't have a dress code, so it's a bit harder for us in a way. Then what I actually take with me, well, here's my bag. It's a really nice one from Lululemon. It's really good, it's really useful, it's big, it takes everything I need it to. But sometimes I sort of wish I had a proper rucksack because it can get a little bit heavy if you have to take a lot of things in it gets really heavy. So I sort of wish I had a rucksack, but this does the job, it's good. Yeah, just sometimes it's a bit annoying, like straps falling off my shoulder, but good solid bag, has everything I need in it. I guess the first thing, like most obvious, the sort of small things, always a face mask with me, rail card with my oyster in. Oh god, that hand sanitizer is not properly shut. Just a little bit of hand sanitizer. There's hand sanitizer at school, but I just have some just in case. AirPods for while I'm traveling, and also so if we have some free time and I can be doing some work without disturbing other people. Hand moisturizer. I have so many hair ties in here. I have a lot, and I always make sure that they're well supplied because do not want to be running out of those. Obviously my keys, lip salve. This is really useful. Lightning to headphone jack thing. Really useful for plugging phones in to get audio off the speakers if we need to play backing tracks for like performance classes or practicing things. It's really useful to have. I haven't actually used it much this term, but in the first term it was really useful, used it quite a lot. So then moving on to the main area, I guess. First thing I have is my ring binder folder. It's got 4 rings, 4 rings, yeah. And I have plastic wallets with all my sheet music in. Every school will probably have a different preference on how they want you to have your sheet music. I find plastic wallets easiest, and none of my teachers have had a problem with it, so I've just stuck to plastic wallets. But the first, like, maybe half a term, every single song that I brought with me, I had in plastic wallets. I had a sellotape version, and then I had a double-sided version that was just hole punched and put straight into the file. That our accompanists had choices. It was a little bit overkill until I got to know what our regular teachers liked. It was just that little bit of extra, like, security for me. I just felt a lot happier. But I eventually stopped because printing out 3 versions of every song when we were doing 2 new songs every week, plus sometimes other stuff, was just a little bit of an overkill. So now I only print out songs if I'm actually, like, really working on them, like if I'm actually going to work on them in class, and I just put them in plastic wallets. Then next I have my iPad. It's a really, really old iPad and really slow, but it's useful so that I can save a lot of sheet music, the PDFs, on Google Drive and access it over here. I can also access Scribd through here, and basically just really good for having a lot of sheet music to hand as an alternative to my folder. And also sometimes our accompanists will have an iPad with them, and then you can airdrop them sheet music. I mean, I can also do that from my phone, but the option of having the sheet music on your iPad enables you to have a lot more music easily available, which is just really useful, especially if you're doing any work like self-study, trying to find songs for classes, etc. It's really useful to have an iPad with you. The next thing I have is a whole bunch of just small notebooks. This term, because our classes have become sort of more refined, I guess, I don't know, we're like more focused towards our end of year performance, and we don't have as many different types of classes, I guess. So I just take one notebook with me to classes. But in the first term and the second term, I had different notebooks for different classes so that I could keep all my notes separate, but I probably only needed 1 or like 2 because I was taking a lot of notes. But yeah, now I just have one notebook with me. It's always good to have paper with you that you can write down notes with. It's a lot easier. I mean, some people do use their iPads to take notes, and it's also really good to have iPads for like marking up sheet music, like on it. There's several apps that let you do it, which is really useful. But I really like having something physical to write things down on, and often there'll be exercises where the teachers will want you to just physically write things. So a notepad of some description is always really useful. To accompany that, I guess, I have my pencil case. I just have a selection of like pens, pencils. I have some, what do you call these? Not highlighters, almost like highlighters, but like fine line highlighters. Just for my note taking, a rubber, like pencil and rubber always, so you can mark up sheet music. Pens or pencils for taking notes. I have a Sharpie just in case, always good for like labeling things, marking things. You never know when you're going to need one, but that's my pencil case. Then we have cables. Always bring a charger for my phone and the iPad. You can see how old the iPad is. It still uses one of these connections, and an actual plug, if I can, yeah, and a proper plug to plug things in, just so I can charge things on the go. I don't have it with me anymore, but in the first term I would take just a regular folder. Okay, I don't have the exact one with me right now, but something like this also works. Just a folder that you can put loose sheets in if you're given any bits of script or worksheets, just to have something to put them in. As I said, because all my classes have become more focused right now, I don't tend to get given a lot of sheets. If I do, I can just sort of slide them into my folder. I do have a spare wallet or 2 that I can slide extra sheets into. So yeah, not all of the plastic wallets in my folder are full. I have a couple empty in case I need to slide things in. But in the first term I did have quite a lot of things that I was putting in, and second term online we had quite a few things to print out as well, so it was useful to have a folder that you can just slide lots of loose pieces of paper into. Then Lunchbox, pretty self-explanatory, I guess. I always bring packed lunch with me. There's Tesco just down the road from us, but I tend to bring something with me. We have a microwave and a kettle that we can use if I need to like heat anything up. But yeah, some form of lunchbox, something to put your food in so it doesn't get squished by everything else is just quite useful. Don't forget your lunch, basically. I always have a few snacky things with me as well as my lunch to eat during the day because it's just so full on. Dried mango, expensive, but I treat myself sometimes. It's my favourite, one of my favourite snacks to take with me. Then, I probably should mention dance shoes. I don't have them with me, I leave them hidden in a cupboard at school because my bag was getting too heavy and I couldn't deal with the amount of shoes I was bringing with me every day. I have a pair of jazz shoes, like just slip-on ones, a pair of split-soled like jazz trainers almost, a regular pair of trainers, and character shoes. We don't do tap, but tap shoes is also a possibility. Ballet shoes also a possibility. We do ballet, but it'll only ever be like a part of a lesson, so we're just allowed to wear like jazz shoes when we do it, like slip-on jazz shoes. So I probably don't actually have as many different pairs of dance shoes as most schools will, but yeah, that's probably one of the biggest things. Normally we have some sort of heads up if we're gonna need character shoes for a routine, so I don't always drag them around with me, but I think the ones that I use most are just a pair of regular trainers and my slip-on jazz shoes. But yeah, I don't have them with me. And also for dance, what I do have is just this little like camping towel almost. It can be quite useful, depends how sweaty you get dancing. I haven't used it a lot recently, but sometimes it can be good for if you're doing like HIIT exercises or like work on the floor, just having something to soften, like put under your arms if you're planking, if the floor's really hard and it's hurting your elbows or your knees. Or I have some back problems. I broke my collarbone several years ago. I made a video about it at some point. But my shoulder, if we're doing a lot of work on our backs on the floor, can be good to prop under my shoulder and just useful to have around. We don't have showers at our school, but I guess if you have showers at your drama school, then having something like this means you can take a shower after dance, which sounds very nice. I wish we could do that. And then what else do I have? Got a very small, quite not good umbrella. I like to have one with me because the couple times I've been caught at school without an umbrella when it's been chucking it down were not fun. It's not a good umbrella, but it doesn't weigh much and doesn't take up a lot of space, which are sort of key things for me. So I make sure I've always got this with me. Also, water bottle. I used to take 2 at the beginning of the first term because we don't have a water fountain, but then I was like, you know what, I think the tap water's okay, so I just take 1 and refill it from tap water. I assume that most schools will have drinking fountains. I think it's just because we're a small building. If you're at a school which has like a big complex, they will probably have drinking fountains somewhere, or like some form of like drinking water source. We just have like regular kitchen sinks and I've established I'm fine drinking that. So, and then deodorant and body mist. I like having deodorant and then some body mist to like lighten it all up a bit. I don't like smelling myself, but you know, everyone smells. It's fine. Like, you don't need them. I like having them, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have them. Just personal preference. If you want to take some, I just get small little ones and they fit in quite easily. And then obviously I take my phone. It's good for navigating the transport. I've been using Citymapper a lot more recently to make sure that my trains are all running on time to get me to and from, etc. Also for recording voice notes during classes. I mean, you can do that on iPads as well, but especially voice classes, really useful to take voice notes on, look things up quickly, play backing tracks off, like I had with the connection thing. So phones are like really useful to have all the time, like set reminders, etc. I occasionally take dry shampoo. Not always, I usually just put it on in the mornings beforehand. I don't bother with it during the day. But sometimes makeup, I don't really take it. I know there are some schools that like you to wear makeup, or we might get told if we're doing a masterclass, make sure you're wearing just a little bit, or sometimes no makeup, or they might give directions on that. Sometimes it's nice just to have a bit to touch up during the day if you like having your makeup done. It can be very active and makeup comes off very easily. I sometimes have like a reading book or my laptop with me, usually on one of the days either end of the week when I'm like going other places as well. And sometimes if we have free time, it's good so I can like get work done, or I can be doing some reading, whether that's like course reading or just some like, you know, chill leisure thing. If we've got downtime, then that's nice, but it's not something I'll take with me unless I'm taking it anyway because I'm going somewhere else. I also, maybe not relevant to everyone, but I take medication and I have a very bad habit of forgetting to take it. So I have a backup tub that I keep in my bag with me all the time so that if I forget to take it in the mornings, I can remember to take it later. Maybe not relevant to everyone, but can be really good so that if you get to school and you're like, crap, I forgot to take that, then you've got it, which is always really helpful. Hello, just me editing because I forgot two things that are sort of really important and I didn't talk about. So first, money, wallet. I mentioned train tickets and lunch, but not the actual payment bit, so useful to have with you. Second, straw, little tiny one. I have this tiny little rubbish one. You can get proper singer's straws. If you don't know about straw exercises for singers, look them up because they're really great, and they're also really quiet, so they're a really good way of warming up quietly if you can't disturb people around you. I mean, obviously right now you can't on public transport because you need to be wearing masks, but like if you've got to warm up quietly or you want to practice but you can't make much noise at school, then having a straw with you is a really good way that you're able to practice really, really quietly by yourself, and it's really effective. So just having a little straw with you, so useful. I hope this has been useful. If there's anything else you want to know about drama school, or you have something that you're wondering whether you should take it or not and I haven't mentioned it and want to know whether I think you'll need it or not, or like whether it would be useful to take, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Thanks, bye.